So when it comes to Garry's mod, there is certainly no shortage of zombie mods, but what if you could be the zombie instead? So grab your favorite weapon base and let's hope that you don't get bit. This is the one and only Infectious mod. Now, a big thank you to QShad for suggesting this in my Discord down below. If you guys also want to suggest something and want to be shouted out in a video, then check out my Discord down there. Alright, so this is a very cool mod, and it all starts in the Entities tab. This is where you're going to find all the magic and a lot of things. Now, we're going to go over the basic stuff, like the spawner. This is how you're going to spawn in the zombies. But first, we do want to go over the different types of zombies. We have the typical NPC, which is the Legacy, kind of just your standard affair. We also have a scripted NPC, which I assume has more functionality, and I believe he's also faster, judging from what I'm seeing. And last but not least, we got the Nextbot version, which I do believe is the fastest. I mean, look at this guy. He has got one hell of a twitch. Now, the reason why I do suggest using a weapon base is because if you spawn one of these guys in, and you use a typical weapon from Garry's mod, you can see that it kind of takes a long time, and zombies tend to group up and swarm you, and you don't want to be dealing with a swarm of zombies that take 2 magazines to kill. But of course, these other weapon bases are incredibly powerful, and they can easily take out these NPCs no problem. Alright, back to the spawners. You're going to spawn them in, and then you simply press E on them to activate. Once you do that, you're going to find out that now they're going to spawn rapidly. Now, we also do have another spawner called the global spawner. This is going to spawn them within a certain radius around your character. Now, the creator even does suggest in the description of the mod page to not use this one on certain maps because it might have some trouble, and I've even noticed when I activate it, it really doesn't do anything from what I can gather. Now, a lot of these things are very configurable. You can see we have rising animations, we have spawn delay. Pretty much you can adjust anything that you want, even the distance. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and just raise this all the way up. There we go. And yeah, you're going to notice nothing's really happening. I don't know why. It could be this map, which again is why the creator does recommend using the point spawner instead. Now, the point spawner, of course, can also be configured, and as you can see when we go in here, you can enable it, and you can include the rising animation. You can also choose the spawn delay. There's the animation, by the way, looks really cool, and they start coming out of the woodwork. Alright, now of course the whole point of this mod is getting infected yourself. Now, how does this happen? Well, it's pretty simple. Just get hit a few times, and these zombies are not your Half-Life 2 zombies. They will rip you apart. Even one zombie can do some pretty catastrophic damage. Alright, now that we've gotten quite a few good hits in, by that I mean we're pretty much almost dead, let's go ahead and chill out inside, take a break from all the zombie nonsense, and why don't we see how we're doing? This is the virus detector, one of your many tools to help aid you in your fight against the zombies. And you can see it's negative, which means of course we do not have an infection in our system. But what if we did? Let's go ahead and get hit quite a few more times, and okay, I think that's probably good enough. Uh-oh. Now it says positive. What does this mean? Well, this means we are now infected, and things are not going to be looking good for us very soon. Now, thankfully, we do have some things to help us with that. This is the virus suppressant. This is going to suppress the virus for time, but it will only delay the inevitable. Let's go ahead and use it on us. You can, of course, use it on other people, which is pretty cool. All right, we are now being suppressed, and well, unfortunately, we're still positive, which of course means that it has not gone away. Now, I did go ahead and speed time up just because I am curious to see what it looks like when it fully goes down, and kind of how long it's going to take. Oh, and look at that. We can start to see it. By the way, time was increased by 7-fold, but we can see now we're not looking so good. That suppressant did a good job. Definitely kept us on our feet for a while. I feel we're not going to be like that much longer. The blur is getting ridiculous. I can't even see anymore. Sound effects have a strange reverberation to them. Everything is getting so much worse. And just like that, we have submitted to the virus. Now, you might think we're dead, but we are not, because we will arise again. however, somewhat different. You're also going to notice that your health and suit will constantly regenerate. I do not have a mod installed that is doing that. That is just being a zombie. Now, you're also going to notice that we are in this like red vision, which at first I thought was just, you know, being a zombie. But no, it's a special night vision mode you can activate and turn off by simply pressing F. Alright, so a couple cool things does happen. For one, your friends are now your enemies. So the rebels will now see you as, well, a zombie. Left click is going to be your primary attack. Really cool looking animations. Right click is going to be an alternate attack. And then you can taunt. Now obviously those sound effects are from Left 4 Dead. We all know Left 4 Dead is amazing. So I'm really happy that it uses sound effects from that game. And you can see now Alex will join us in our escapade. However, I don't know what it is, but when you turn NPCs infected, sometimes they don't act right. But Alex, she's out for blood. Oh, Alex, oh my god. She's completely lost her mind. She's not even the same person anymore. Can we kill G-Man? Nope, I think we're gonna need some more pals. And there's only one pal that I want. Okay, Odessa, please don't hit me with that. Can we kill Odessa? Wait, he's not dying. Alex, if you could help me out, please. Alright, so I went ahead and spawned in some pals. Let's see if we can finally take out G-Man. And now we can go for Odessa. Oh my god, guys, we have zombie G-Man. This is not actually happening. Go and see what that looks like. Oh my god. Oh, he couldn't even deal with the pain. He had to take out his own life. He did take out G-Man Zombie, which is unfortunate. But yeah, zombies are your friends. Now there is one very unfortunate thing with this mod. You cannot open doors anymore. To open doors, you have to break them down, and you'll see there's now a percentage health bar on every door you hit until you eventually bust it open. Pretty cool stuff, really keeping in line with that classic lore of, well, being a zombie. You also can no longer wield any of your weapons. Even if you try to equip it with the Q menu, you're going to find out that you only have Infected as your primary weapon. You also can no longer read any of the tools, but you can of course now break them, as well. That's what zombies do. Alright, now we're going to talk about some of the other features in this mod. First things first, we do have some sweps. We have the virus suppressant, and of course that's going to make it to where you can protect yourself from, well, getting infected. We also have the virus vaccine. This is going to cure yourself of the virus. So if you ever find yourself infected, now you might be wondering, well, how do you get infected if you don't want to get hit by a zombie? Well, that's where this comes from. This is the virus sample. And, well, it's going to give you the infection if you get hit by it. Now, it does have an incubation period, but you do want to be pretty close to it. But once it hits you, oof, there's no denying it's definitely going down. Now, if you want to skip that incubation period, well, we got the virus vial, which is funny. It looks just like adrenaline from the Left 4 Dead series. Go ahead and give yourself this, and you're gonna find you're gonna be wanting a taste for brains a bit sooner than you might have thought. And we can already see the HUD elements are appearing. Going up to this, it says positive in red now, so that kind of tells you we're pretty much screwed. But we're not. There is a cure. We have the virus vaccine. And by injecting yourself with this, you can cure yourself of the virus. Now you're going to notice you're going to be very slow for a while. And it's also going to make you immune to being infected for a short period. But now we can see we are negative and our vision has cleared up, our speed has returned, and everything's back to being good again. But that's not all. If you do want to cure your, well, zombie buddies, you can simply do that by holding left click. But what about your friends? Well, you can of course inject your friends with it as well by pressing left click. Now unfortunately, I don't think this detector works on NPCs. I do think it's only players. But Odessa might be looking a little different here pretty soon. Hey Odessa, I don't know if it's just me, but you're looking a little red. Oh. Wait, I take it back. Right there. Odessa Cubbage positive. So it does work on NPCs. You just can't be too close. And, well, there goes another one. Now, it's funny because I do expect them to rise. They're supposed to, come back to life. But I guess sometimes the virus is just a little too much. Pretty much what I'm trying to say is you can bring them back by using the vaccine. But that's only if they're not already dead. And, well, what happened there was we actually hid the vaccine. That's right, you can hide them in props. and I guess for some reason I thought Odessa was a prop. Like right here, you can see there's a slight outline on this cabinet, and we can hide it inside there. And then when you walk by it, you can see you can get pricked by it, and now it's active. You can also, of course, do the same thing to this one, and you can see how that can be very dangerous. Of course, being able to hide it inside of bodies. Uh-oh. Oh, please don't tell me. Oh, yep. We are definitely infected, alright. Now, if you don't want to have to bring this thing around, you also have a portable detector, which you can just simply use by pressing right-click, and it tells you exactly, well, your status. Go ahead and take this before it's too late. Alright, next up we have the radio, and this is going to be very important. You can activate it by pressing E, and it's going to make it to where zombies cannot spawn within this radius. So it's kind of like a safe zone. You definitely do want to put this in your safe house. And, I mean, we can see, I have them activated, but they can't spawn because they're within that zone. If we pull this out, you can see the moment that we do, they instantly spawn. Now, they will try to attack your radio, and you want to be very careful about that. As you can see, it says danger, and right there, they kind of just whacked it. You definitely don't want to leave it unattended because they will destroy it. As we can see right now, they're kind of taking pieces off of it, and if you're not near it, it will be overrun, and they can pretty much do whatever they want. Next up, we have the Kevlar vest. This is going to give you some awesome protection, and I would recommend putting this thing on the moment that you can, because as you can see here, it works amazingly well. They won't even do a single bit of damage to your health, or at least very little amounts of it. And it's pretty much a better suit, if you ask me. Now, if you have a lot of zombies, they're going to rip through it pretty quick, so you'll want to be very careful about that. And last up, we have the experiment. It's a giant satellite dish that tells you a bunch of information you might need, like the number of survivors, carriers, infected, and then the current percentage, which is pretty cool. Now, of course, you can edit this like pretty much anything, and it's awesome. Like, this mod is super in-depth, way more in-depth than I thought it was going to be. And these zombies, like I said, they don't play. Like, if you get surrounded by these zombies, you're going to be wishing that you hadn't gone outside today. But what do you guys think down below? I'd love to hear your thoughts. As always, links will be in the description. If you want to leave a like, subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Let me know what you want to see in the next one. And, well, keep on killing those zombies. As always, thanks for watching, and farewell.